And welcome, 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 everybody. It is Sunday, June 21st, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, or whatever time it happens to be where you are watching, because you are watching us right now. It is Father's Day, and it is also time for Master's Mind. And it's a great way to finish the previous week and get the new week started. And of course, we have to get together with our community and hear a really amazing message as set forth by our mentor in chief, our GPS to success, and most importantly, most importantly, not just a father, but a dear friend. So let's, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our Master's Mind today with Robert Hollis.
Well, hello everyone. Craig, hostess with the mostest. Thank you so much. I love and appreciate you. And I have my incredible son on here, Matthew, and it's his first Father's Day. So the happy Father's Day, my son.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. Happy Father's Day to you, Dad.
Thank you, thank you. And hi, Deborah,
Love you, love
Melody,
you.
Scott, and Michael, Angela. And yeah, today I just thought, because it's Father's Day, it's also one of my grandsons' birthday, Ryder. His birthday's today, and then Matthew's son Ezra's tomorrow. And then today is like not only Father's Day, but the first day of summer. So yeah, got a lot of cool things starting and a lot of new, good feelings and stuff. So hi, Dustin. Thanks for jumping on. So I just wanted to share with each and every one of you when we talk about, Father's Day. There's a lot of people. Hi, Mary. Thanks for jumping on. For me, I didn't really get to know my father, at all. And so even the remembrance of my father are not good at all. I tried to do my best over the years to try to find some things in there that I could find that were positive, but just no experiences whatsoever of any kind of kindness or any kind of love or telling me he was proud of me. Of course, he was just the opposite because he was an alcoholic. He, said all these awful things all the time to me and my brothers, and just a really sad thing. And I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form for you to feel sorry for me, but I do remember the first time that someone said to me that that I had a heavenly Father. And that might be foreign to a lot of people, but I don't know if you realize this, but in the Bible, it's depending on the translation, there's statements in the Bible that talk about our Heavenly Father loving us 700 times. 700 times. And so one of the things is again, people try to get logical about this, but then there's the emotion part. And the emotion part is just a simple one. I remember I shared with you guys that I recalled going to a Bible camp, and, David Heller, I'll never forget the guy's name. He just said, "Hey, you want to go to Bible camp with us?" And I was like, "Sure." And I can remember asking my mom, and she was like, "I don't care." I must have been, I don't know, 12 or something like that. And it's like, don't even know who's taking me. And I go there, and they just explained a couple of things, you know what I mean? Which you guys all know the story. And it was this whole concept that, God loved me so much that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him would have everlasting life. That's John 3:16. And they were just saying, can I believe, that God sent his son here and that he died on the cross and that 3 days later he was rose again and now he sits, he's in the heaven, or he's in us, right? And one of the things that I say to people all the time is there's the logical part of us that tries to understand this. And then there's the feeling part of us. And again, it is bizarre to me that people can see young kids, Ezra, like I said, Matt's son will be one tomorrow. And as he gets older and he gets older, you're going to watch him live time, like all children, where all of a sudden they are pretending and imagining that things are happening that are not really happening. And you guys all know what I'm talking about. Whether they're playing with a friend, what is it, Toy Story 5? People are saying that it's just amazing. But the whole concept behind Toy Story is that the kid is getting older and he no longer needs his imaginary friends. I mean, how many of you guys know immediately it's like, you got a friend in me? You know what I mean? And so, it's very, very interesting because we all will watch this and be entertained by it and get good fuzzy feelings about it and memories about it. But we all do know that Woody and Buzz are not real. It's like that's almost like saying something like Santa is not real. What do you mean Woody and Buzz are not friends? What are you talking about? And so it is amazing for people like Disney and stuff where they can not only use our imagination, but we actually can get caught up in that imagination. And so I always find it very unique when people want to define love through logic. You know what I mean? And I remember one time that I seen a phrase, and I think you guys will all love this, is someone said, if you ever wanted to understand, because I still have this phrase right here. This is like a phrase I always have close to me. And it says, anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. And so people all the time on a logical aspect try to get me to explain to them. And all I feel is this concept that because I didn't have a father, that now I had one. And the scriptures are, he never leaves or forsakes me. He's always here, right here in my heart. And so I'm never alone. I feel protected. I feel loved. And so when someone tries to say, I logically don't understand that, well, it's not supposed to be understood in a logical aspect. And so I just wanted to share with all of you is that a lot of people, I consistently just have this one phrase. I haven't said it in a while, so it's just downloading to me. But, children spell love Time. It's time. And the more that you spend in doing something and getting excited about it and falling in love with it is now when it comes to people trying to learn what you do. It's like me, that the service of many is the way to greatness. So I've shared with you guys this from day one, when all of a sudden my mentor started showing me this concept. I always looked at it like it was just treasure. That, wow, there was this thing that I learned that I could get involved with the company, that I then could share with somebody, that if they shared it with others, that they could make extra income. And how many of you know that I bid onto this hook, line, and sinker? So every day when I get up, for me not to reach out to people is foreign to me. It's 100% foreign to me that why wouldn't I reach out to people? Why wouldn't I connect with people? Why wouldn't I find people at the right time? And what if the only thing that I shared with them, is that I got them to think more or better about themselves? What if I could get them to buy in to Woody and Buzz, or whatever imaginary thing that is out there? What if I can get them to really understand? So now I'm going to go on a different shot here. So if a person's going to imagine a heavenly father or a parent figure that was always there, or a spouse or a partner or something that was always with them, then how would you like that entity to look at you? Because it's my imagination. So I would like this entity to always look at me, and you guys have seen these memes where it might show a guy or a girl, and they're looking at, maybe a pet, or maybe looking, and it's like, I've seen the memes where a girl's looking at a guy, and the meme says, all I'm looking for is a woman one day in my life to look at me the way this girl's looking at this guy. And you just see that look of awe, which we've talked about in the past. It's where the word awesome came from. And it's like, that's why humans, to me, doing things that seem above normal human, that's why stuff like the 250 freedom fight, or, someone racing. It was like, there was a clip that I think I shared with Matt and Craig today. Did I share that clip with you guys about Conor McGregor?
I don't recall seeing it.
Let me see if this is it. Nope. But there was this, maybe I sent it to Matt. Matt, do you remember me sending it to you? Bummer. I'm almost positive. Oh, I know where it is. Okay, so all right, hang on. So I'm gonna cue this up, and then I'll give you guys a little context before it. Okay, whether or not you know who Conor McGregor is, all right? Look at this. This is UFC 189. So Conor McGregor is super, super, super young here. In fact, he's not even a world champion. He's fighting Jose Aldo for the world championship, and he beat him in 19 seconds. So this is when he first became a world champion. But he was so out there and so full of life and so excitement, even Terry and I were talking, maybe even a little crazy, you know what I mean? But what he did is, this is held at the MGM Grand. This is held in Las Vegas. And he had fought like 6 fights, and all these people from Ireland flew over to Las Vegas. This is a press conference. And Dana White says to somebody, do you have any questions? And you'll hear this Irish guy start off this chant, and you'll understand why this guy's made more money than everybody else. So here we go.
Jose, are you listening? Jose, keep that belt listening. McGregor's coming for you. He'll do you in 2. 1 minute, McGregor.
Now listen to everybody.
Go ahead, kid. You're the last question.
Jose!
Okay. Now, I just watched the UFC 250 fights, right? There's not a fighter there that had this kind of group of people following them around, even though the last fight, when all of a sudden the guy from United States started to win, then there became a pretty good chant of USA, USA, USA. But why do I bring this up? Is how do you get that kind of excitement following you? All right. And so for the non-believers or the people that still don't understand, when you can see 50, 60, 70,000 people in the street all doing a worship song to their Heavenly Father. And there's got to be like when Charlie Kirk died and all the people filled up, the Arizona Dome, right? And they're all singing worship songs. There's got to be something that clicks in your mind where you go, wow, it's just not one person. There's this large group of people that really have this imagination of their Heavenly Father. And in that thought, they have what? They believe that always going to be there for them or her, loves unconditionally. I love this statement. There's no one that's going to love you anymore or any less. And so in an imaginary, so you got Happy Father's Day, and we know there's a bunch of people that didn't have a father. Maybe they had a good single mother. Maybe they got taken away from both their parents. And so you sort of got to think, in this scenario, just bottom line, I wanted to share on Father's Day that when I got into a position where I could imagine this entity always being with me, always there to help me, always happy, always proud. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people spend so much time with guilt and shame that, the really difference between people, in my opinion, this is just, I'm not trying to cause anything, but the difference between people that are believers and not believers is this one simple thing, is that we all know that we are sometimes not good people and we don't do what we're supposed to do and we don't serve the way we're supposed to do. We all can have this incredible guilt and shame, right? And the difference is between believers and non-believers is the believers actually have an imaginary friend that forgives them and gives them grace and mercy, mercy. It's like there's an entity where we can believe that, okay, I'm not a good person, but I have a Father that loves me, that it forgives me. And I got grace and I got mercy. I can start out all over. I can renew my mind. I can be born again. And some people go, well, is this something you can do every day? Is this something you got to do a couple of times a day? I would, if you're going to use your imagination, I think you should do it as much as you can. So I get to start all over. I got a clean slate. I'm as clean as snow. I get to start over and I get to do better. I get to serve more. I get to go out and love more. I get to, do the best to be a better person, a gooder person. And so that's where I really think that all comes from. So I wanted to share with you guys on Father's Day, for those of you that had an incredible father and a great relationship with your father, that's awesome. And some of them I know are probably not. Terry's, I told her what I was going to talk about, and she's like, I'm not coming on. Because Terry really was close to her father, and to watch him slowly, die of cancer was not a good deal. And so she says, I'm going to go just spend time with Mom, and Kyle went with her to mow the lawn. But Star and Lisa Marie and Arthur and Shelley and Mary and Dustin and Scott and Melody and Deborah, Matthew, my son, Michael, Angela, and also Craig Jackman. I love and appreciate you guys every day. And I also know that during these times, it makes me feel really, really humble, because there's a lot of people that reached out to me, and always does, going, listen, I didn't have a father, but you were my father. You were an example to me on how to live, how to treat other people, how to go the extra mile, how to tell people that you love them unconditionally, and that really, really makes my day. It really makes my day that I was that for other people when they thought, well, you know. So now it's like it's pretty cool to have Matthew have his first Father's Day, and I just love each and every one of you. Again, if you can look at fathers as an individual where I will say this really quickly because I have forgiven my father. I have forgiven my mother. I just look back and I just mentally in my mind don't have a clue how they did what they did. You know, Terry brought up a great subject that I covered, and it was called winging it. And I see that today. It's like no one got an owner's manual. You know, no one got an owner's manual on life. No one got an owner's manual on how to be a good wife or a husband, how to be a good father. You know, everyone's just winging it. And I look at my parents and I think they made a lot of stupid decisions and including just drinking too much or never stopped drinking, right? So, you know, it reflected in the way they treated each other and the way they treated me. And you know, I don't want to ever say that I feel like they did their best, but I forgive them because they made choices that didn't make their lives better, and that just turned out the way it is. But then I'm extremely grateful because I always think that if that didn't happen, maybe David Heller wouldn't have invited me to go to that Bible camp. And on top of that, I got out, and because I grew up with a bunch of people on the wrong side of the street, that's what ended up getting me some really personal time in a federal prison to make sure that I established that connection with my Heavenly Father. So a lot of people probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it is pretty interesting when you have to spend time to figure out something, then you just do your best. So I love each and every one of you unconditionally. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And I just know that each and every one of you will continue to have a great Father's Day and a great weekend. And I'll turn it over to Craig. We'll see you guys on recess tomorrow for those of you. And I just love and appreciate you guys so much.
What a great message, Robert. Thank you so very much for sharing, especially the personal parts of that. Just a reminder, everybody, as we get started with the brand new week, don't forget tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, recess! And then every day, continuing forward at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, we got something every single day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, we've got daily wisdom. Thursday, breakthroughs. Saturday, ask us anything. And then we're right back here next Sunday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, for another amazing Master's Mind. There's a couple of things in the meeting chat. Go ahead and click the three dots in the meeting chat, and then click Save Chat. It'll download to your computer once we're concluded here. And we really appreciate you. We love you. We're glad to have you with us and part of our amazing Unlimited Wisdom community. Once again, be good to yourselves. Be cash. Bye-bye. Have a great day. I'm going to just go ahead and unmute so we can all say so long on this Father's Day and first day of summer. Let's see. Whoops. Wrong one. Wrong button. There it is. So
Goodbye,
thank
everyone.
you all.
Happy Father's Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Star. Bye, Arthur. Bye, Shelley. Bye, Melody, Deborah, Dustin, Matthew, my son, Michael, Angela.
Bye.
Love you guys. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate you.